Welcome back to the Pal Pod, the CasualPetitive Games podcast, a deep dive into Bushiroad's Palworld TCG. I am one of your pals, Cameron, joined as always by my pal, Eric. How you doing, Eric?
Hi, everybody. We're back. We're recording another episode of the Pal Pod, episode 3. It's time for green cards.
My favorite color.
Yeah, because it's the color of money and also trees and nature, but also money.
Which grows on trees.
Which grows on trees, despite what your parents say.
Yeah.
Go get some money on that tree outside. I don't even know what I'm talking about anymore. Let's just talk about these green cards. And if you want to join the discussion, leave a comment down below. Hop in our Discord. I've got a link to it in the description of this video. We're talking Palworld. We're playing Palworld. Well, that's all we're doing because they won't let us do anything else with the pals. But
yeah, and they're getting review bombed.
They're getting review bombed because of it. Yeah. To be clear, that's not. I have no interest in that. I'm probably cutting this out of the video. Anyways, green cards. Green cards. We're gonna start off strong with Lylene, Blessing of the Goddess. Lylene is a 7-cost green pal. 900 power, strike 3, lucky pal also, I don't know if I said that, but on deploy, get 3 ingredients, and once per turn you can consume 3 ingredients to look at the top 5 cards of your deck, choose up to 1 6 or less pal from among them, and deploy it, shuffle the rest of the cards with your deck. This feels very similar to, I feel like we've got a few cards like this that have a cost of some kind associated with doing an ability, and then like when the card is deployed, it gives you what you need to fulfill that cost and do that thing. So
yeah, to at least do it once on play is really cool design, and I do appreciate that. And we'll find in green there are ways to really accelerate a lot of ingredients. So this is a banger of an ability.
Yeah, this card's pretty solid. It's a lucky pal, so you got to find room for it. But I think, playing pals for free off the top of your deck the same turn you play this is pretty good. So
yeah, it's that if you're paying 7 cost on the turn you play this to then play up to 6 more souls for free. So
yeah,
essentially 13 souls in one turn. You can go wide with green and just this card. And 7 is such a good number, like we've talked about, because then you have room to play another 2-cost pal from your hand, and then suddenly you have 3 pals on the board.
It's pretty solid, and I think we'll see this kind of as a theme in green, is playing a lot of pals in weird ways from your hand and from your deck.
Yeah.
All right, Cam, I know you're excited about this next one.
I'm so excited about this next one. This has been my favorite pal to build a deck around so far in set 1.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just one that I really, really want to tune and figure out because it's got a very powerful ability. In the last episode in blue, we talked about a trait called Vigilance. In green here, this is only one of 2 cards, I think, that has a trait called Breakthrough. So without further ado, this is Dig Toys Seismic Drillback, a 6-cost lucky pal with 900 power and 2 strike. And you might be thinking to yourself, that's a little expensive for nothing. Just wait, baby. He has a continuous ability. If you have 10 or more souls, this card gets plus 1,000 power and plus 1 strike. Yeah. Meaning in the late game, this guy's a 1,900 3-striker for 6. And once per turn, you can consume 2 ingredients. Until the end of the turn, this card gets plus 500 attack and the skill Breakthrough, which says when an opposing combat pal is put into the graveyard during this card's attack, the opposing player is also dealt strike damage.
Wow.
Which is awesome.
Yeah, this card is really hard to play around because you can't just chump block it, you can't just let it through either, and it's advancing your board state while also advancing your main win con, which is strike damage.
Yeah, I love this thing. I think Breakthrough is very, very powerful. I'm looking forward to seeing more Breakthrough as we go, and kind of seeing what can counter the Breakthrough. Because yeah, like this guy at 6 cost, even at 900, at 6 cost, you're coming in the early game and you're taking out a little guy.
Hmm.
Typically when you bring him into the field, and then you're already putting that breakthrough out. So
Hmm.
if we can get some cheaper guys with breakthrough also, man, and you're just breaking through as you're ramping, there's some deck building space here for sure that really excites me. So that's Dig Toys.
It's funny
Big
that
fan of this guy.
this is a card game mechanic that is always interesting to you. Like when we were playing the Gundam card game, you were all in on Breach.
Yes.
Breach was your bread and butter. So
Uh-huh.
it's funny that you found it immediately in Palworld.
It's just so much value.
Yeah, it's like I said, you get board advantage and you get you're advancing your game state, or like the main win con of your deck also advancing.
Yeah. And also base rarity Dig Toys right here, this 6 cost RR, it's selling for about 250. So you could get a playset for 10 bucks.
Yeah,
And I think that's really good right now because I think breakthrough is an underrated mechanic right here at the beginning of the game. I think it could get very out of hand very quickly. So you might want to pick up your playsets of Dig Toys now.
I've got an OSR of Dig Toys.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I'll probably trade it to you at some point.
Yeah.
I feel
Yeah.
like
We'll work something out. I
I,
need him.
I feel like you're the rightful owner of that card.
Mhm.
Next card is Petalia Sweet Blessings. This card rules. I've played around with this a little bit. It's a 6
It's
cost,
good.
700 power, 2 strike pal. It's a normal pal. On deploy, gain 1 life, choose 2 souls, and stand them. So really, it only costs you 4. You just have to have 6 in order to play it.
Oh,
So,
you know what's cool about this too?
what?
If you proc this off of Lylene, you get to play her for free,
Ooh,
but still stand the 2, which would put you back at 5.
yeah. And you get the
That's pretty
life.
good. Yeah,
So
and you get the
far,
life.
so far, life gain seems to be a green and purple specific thing.
Yeah,
Green seems to give it out pretty freely. Purple seems to have some sort of cost associated with doing it.
mhm, for the most part, for
Yeah,
sure. And gaining life in this game is good because you prolong the game, obviously. You'll still lose cards off the top of your deck, so it doesn't feel as busted,
yeah,
but I'm sure there's a way to break it. So gaining life is always good. If you can do that, especially combine it with gaining extra resources or drawing cards off of it, I feel like it could get out of hand pretty quickly. So something to keep an eye on
yeah.
in green.
You and I had a green versus green matchup, and that game almost ended with a deck out for one of us. I
Yes.
think
Yeah.
we each had like 9 cards left in our deck. It was getting
Yeah.
down to the wire, but I can't remember how that one ended. But it ended.
You beat me.
Oh, okay.
I think I just ran out of steam completely. And
Yeah.
you were playing blue and I was playing purple, so
Hmm.
you had a lot more cards in your hand.
That's what blue likes to do.
Yep.
This next guy's really cool though. I think he's yeah. Talk about him.
I like him a lot. This is a 2 cost normal pal called Rushor, Reckless Destruction. He has 200 power and 1 strike, but he has an automatic attack. When this card attacks a structure, this card gets plus 800 until the end of the turn. So if you watched our blue episode, we talked a lot about these really annoying structures that come in for a one-time effect and just sit on the board with big durability. Rushor is a very good counter to blue structure decks like that. Fighting pals, he's not the best. Being fought by pals, definitely not the best. He has a job and would be very good in a sideboard against big structure decks. I like him though a lot, and I got a very shiny version of him in one of the packs that I opened. So, yeah, I think he's a sideboard card if there ends up being a sideboard. What do you think about him?
I agree on that. I think if there's a sideboard, he goes in. I think even if there's not a sideboard, I think you can still maybe find some space for a couple copies of this card. Not really sure if it's a 4 of in auto include in every green deck, but hey,
Yeah.
maybe it depends on the meta too. We don't really know what the
Sure.
meta for this game is going to look like. If the meta is like a bunch of 1,000 durability or less structures that people are just like spamming to the field, this might become a 4 of auto include in every green deck. You know,
Yeah.
well,
Yeah.
it really
The
depends.
utility is there. Being
Yeah,
able to have a 2 cost thing break something at 1K is very good for
Yeah.
all the reasons that we listed in our blue episode.
Yeah. A card like this needs to exist, and I'm glad that it does, because otherwise
Absolutely.
I think you gotta have a counter to structures, otherwise structures would just get way too out of hand. So I'm
Yeah,
glad he exists.
agreed.
All right, this next one is fun. I built a whole deck around this that we messed around with. This is Elizabeth, Queen of the Flower Garden. She is a 5 cost, 700 power, 2 strike, lucky pal. She's the queen bee.
She is a
So
queen bee.
she gets 300 power for each of your main name bee guard pals that are in play, and she has an action once. No, I don't think it's once per turn. It's just consume one
Mm,
ingredient. Look at the top card of your deck, and if that is a main named bee guard pal, you may play it with its cost reduced by 2. It does not become 0 or less from this ability, so you still have to pay at least 1 soul to play the card, even if you reduce the cost to 0. So
yes. Just to look ahead real quick,
yeah,
B guard base cost is 3,
yeah.
so it becomes a 1.
Yeah, I think this was more of a future proofing thing. It leaves
Yeah,
the design space open for the designers to make more B Guard cards. I cannot wait till we get to talk about the B Guard. I mean, actually, do you want to break our usual
I think we
format?
should. I
And
think we should, just because it's pretty far down.
okay,
And this is such a linked card.
yeah,
We should talk about B guard
let's go
next.
straight to B Guard. You talk about B Guard next.
All right. Real quick, I don't know if you said it, but Elizabeth 5 cost lucky, 700 power, 2 strike base.
Yeah,
So yeah, reverse pen king, it gets buffed for its little guys instead of the little guys being buffed by her.
yeah,
And that's pretty cool. So let's run down to B guard real quick. B guard, Knight of the Flower Garden, is a 3 cost normal pal, 400 power, 1 strike, a continuous effect. You may put any number of cards with the same card name as this card into your deck, meaning you can break the conventional rule of only being allowed 4 B guard Knight of the Flower Gardens. You can have as many as you want. And on auto, on deploy, you gain an ingredient. If you have a farming structure, this card also gets plus 500 attack until the end of the turn. So there's a lot of combos going off between B guard, Elizabeth, and some of your structures here. But yeah, Eric, you built the deck. Do you want to weigh in on how this card works?
yes. So I built a B Guard deck. I think the key to that deck is going to be figuring out the correct number of these B Guard Knight of the Flower Garden cards to include. I think there's definitely a good deck there. I just am still figuring out how to tweak it, tweak the numbers, and figuring out what those farming structures should be and what the rest of the deck needs to look like. I played a deck that had 16 of these in there, and I think it was too many. I'm
Sure.
thinking the correct number is probably, and we talked about this, but I think it's close to 10 to 12.
Mhm.
That was sort of where we landed after we played the game. I just felt like I had too many of these. But it's tempting, right? It's just like you can play as many. You could have a 50 card deck where every card is this card.
Right.
There's you wouldn't have any lucky pals or anything. You just play B guards every turn. That wouldn't be a very good deck, but you could do that, you
But you
know.
could do that.
And so
Yeah.
it's tempting to try something like that where you have, maybe 8 farming structures, 4 of the Elizabeth Queen card, and then the rest of your deck is B guards. But
Yeah.
I don't think that's the right choice to do it that way. You definitely it's just about figuring out the flow and the balance and what the other cards need to be. I think this is a really interesting space that they're already exploring. I love when a card game establishes like these are the rules of this card game and then they immediately print cards that break the rules. I think it's fun.
Yes. I think that's some of my favorite design as well.
Yeah.
And I think the key for this deck, because I've played online a little bit and I've played against a couple of Elizabeth decks. The key is Lylene, which is the first card we talked about, being able to proc into Elizabeth,
Hmm.
which then is able to proc into your B guards, which powers up your Elizabeths, and you can really swarm the field
Yeah.
very quickly this way, because for little resources, especially like if Lylene survives into the next turn or if Elizabeth survives into the next turn, you are able to really just go looking for more B cards and widen out your board and just swing every turn. It is a swarm of bees, and it can be very, very effective.
Yeah, it's a really fun deck archetype. I am excited to explore it more. I think as far as playing it in paper, probably going to be a minute till I'm able to actually physically build this deck because
Yeah.
I just can't get cards right now. And
Yeah.
getting more copies of B Guard, I think I only have like one. I think I have one Elizabeth and like maybe one or two B Guards. So,
Yeah.
and that's out of two booster boxes. So it's going to be a minute.
Yeah. This card is currently selling for around 391.
Yeah.
Because people definitely understand that you're going to want a lot more of them if you're buying them. So there's some money to be made if you're not interested in the B Guard deck to sell all your B Guard common cards that you find
Yeah. For instance, to
to
me.
Eric.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Let's
So
get back to the regular order.
yeah, let's head back up to War Sect Iron Fortress. This is an 8 cost normal pal with 1500 power and 3 strike. I opened 3 of these in my booster packs. He's a rare. And he has a continuous effect, which is another keyword we haven't seen yet, called Taunt. Your opponent cannot attack other targets if a card with Taunt can be targeted for an attack. Basically, if this guy is in play and he's rested, your opponent cannot target structures or other pals first. They have to deal with the War Sect Iron Fortress.
Yeah.
And I think that's pretty good. He is expensive, but 1500 power and forcing your opponent to work their turn around him. This basically soaks up like a Tide's attack for the turn instead of your deck being hit by it. Unless they have some removal or something like that.
Yeah.
So this would be an interesting contender for Champ or Chump.
Yeah.
We might come back to this one for that exact reason.
1500 power and 3 strike is very good, and also the taunt is still live even if this card is sideways. So, I mean, you
Yeah.
could be swinging with this every turn and then it's still doing its job.
Yeah,
So,
it's like you have to deal with this when you put it on the board, and I like that.
I've noticed in card games there are certain rare cards that are extremely common to see. And I had the same
Yeah,
experience with this guy. I think I opened, I think I might have a playset of this card.
yeah, yeah.
Which is not a bad thing. It's not at
No,
all. It's just I feel like if I buy more booster boxes, I'm going to be a little disappointed if I see more of this card. But there's just
yeah,
certain rare cards in these card games that, for whatever reason, are like less rare rares. Like you just
yeah.
see them all the time, and he's not a bad card at all. So
But once I have more than 4, I'm definitely not gonna want more.
yeah, and it makes it hard to trade or anything because it's like other
Yeah,
people probably
everybody's
also
got them.
yeah. So it just is like, what do I do with this? I don't know. Card game problems. All
Yep.
right, next one. They let Bewitching Blossom. This is an 8 cost Lucky Pal, 1600 power. I
Ballard.
keep saying that. Strike 3. Once per turn, discard 1 card from your hand. If you assign this card this turn, stand this card. So you assign Veilette to harvesting, crafting, or transporting structure, and then you do this ability, and you get to restand it if you want. 1600 power, 3 strike is not bad.
This is a cool card because you could use both of those stands to progress your material gain,
Mm-hmm.
or you could do both. You could double dip. You could progress your material gain and then still attack with it because it is a really powerful pal at 1600 and the 3 strike is good. But being a lucky card, we're running into that same thing where it's like, man, you got to make some decisions here because I don't know if that's that good.
Yeah, I don't know if this is good enough to be one of the 8. That's going to be a continuous thing you bump into with lucky cards.
Yeah,
Is just
definitely.
like,
Which again, great design space,
oh
incredible
yeah,
design
I
space.
I love that I have to make that decision. It's not just
Yeah,
it's cool because it's not just let me, oh, these are all the best cards in the game, let me just throw them all in. It's like the lucky pals do tend to be the most powerful pals with the best abilities, but you can only include 8 of them, and there's 4 copies, so it's kind of like if you want to maximize everything, you can really only pick 2 unique lucky pals. You can technically pick up to 8, but really you're picking probably 2 or 3 unique
yeah,
lucky pals to include.
because you want to focus in on a strategy.
Yeah. She's
All
cool
right,
though. She's cool.
she is cool. She is cool. We'll have to come back to that one as well. This next one is The green 3-cost vanilla 500 power 1 strike. It's Lift Monk, promising newbie, adorable little leaf chipmunk.
Has the intelligence of a
He
5 to 7-year-old child, is what the flavor text says.
That's hilarious. So
Yeah.
this is just my nephew as a card. That's
Yeah.
funny. In the game, he gets Uzis, so I do like Lift Monk a lot. He sits on top of your head and he shoots a machine gun. But yeah, this is like the Pendulate in the blue and then the Kelpsy Ignis in the red. It's just a vanilla card, 500 power, fits in your ramp at 3. Really fun second turn first, or going second first turn drop. And that's really it.
All right, next up we got Demud, Mellow Bounty. So 4 cost, normal pal, 500 power, 2 strike. On deploy, get 2 ingredient. And when this card is assigned to a farming structure, increase your soul by 1 card in the rest state. This is our first time seeing ramp.
Yeah.
It comes
I'm
in rested.
just now realizing this card would be really good in my Dig Toys deck.
How so? Expand.
Uh,
Explain.
it makes ingredients, which Dig Toys wants to eat. And, ramp is good. And I don't think I have any 4-cost
Yeah.
in my deck right now. So that
So
I like the mud.
ramp is interesting in this game because I think you get your souls relatively quickly because you have max
You
of
do.
you get max of 10, you have 2 per turn. You get there in about 4 to 5 turns, you have all the souls you need. So what this card does is you play it on turn 4 and then the next turn you have 7 souls. So
Yeah.
that I
Or
think
turn 2.
yeah,
Your turn 2.
yeah, turn it allows you on turn 3 to play a 7 soul.
Yeah. If you're going
Ow.
first.
Yeah.
Or on turn 3 if you're going second to play your 8-cost.
Oh, yeah.
So
the math on that is pretty good because there's a lot
yeah.
of really good 8-cost.
You obviously want him early, but like that is a significant ramp.
It is.
I don't think that's not nothing. And again, there are cards that make me think that we'll be able to break the threshold of 10 at some point. This could be another one that if you draw him late game, you might be able to break that threshold. I don't know. Like if you have a structure in play and it says your max amount of souls is increased, you could play him and get value from it pretty quickly. But at the very least, because of Dig Toys, I do love the on deploy just get 2 ingredient because my next turn hopefully is into Dig Toys and use that ability and start breaking through. So
Yeah.
I like this guy.
That
a
was
lot.
going to be my question too. Does he, if you have 10, does he allow you to have 11 or no?
I don't think so. Because
Okay.
we can only build a deck of 10 souls.
Okay. So you just
right now.
you just don't even have like the souls to pull from.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that makes sense.
Oh, I will say one more thing. This is a spoiler for purple.
Uh-huh.
There's a card in purple that says for the rest of your turn, your pal's autos trigger twice.
Oh.
So I don't know how expensive that is. I'm just saying it's a free turn of soul ramp at that point, which could be good.
That's cool. That's cool.
Could be speaking out of my ass, but
next up we got Gummoss, Curious Sprout.
I love Gummoss.
All right, we ready? I think this is going to be our thumbnail. So you ready?
Yeah, I'm gonna do my thumbnail. Yeah,
there we go.
really good. Oh, Gummoss Curious Sprout is a 4-cost.
Nobody use that as a screenshot for like nefarious purposes, but
4-cost, normal pal, harvesting, 600 power, strike 2. On deploy, this card gets 300 power, and the skill Continuous Assault. This card can attack pals in the stand state until the end of the turn. So he can come in and attack something standing for 900, basically, when he comes into play.
Yeah. He's cool. I like the art on this guy. It's very simple.
He's adorable.
A strange pal with a body like flowing sap. Okay.
Me too. I'm your strange pal with a body like flowing sap.
This is another Dig Toys card we got next. We got Dig Toys Keen Needleback. And that's what I like about this game too, is that even though there's a limited number of pals, we get different versions of them. And I can see down the line how you could have decks. And even now, especially with Dig Toys, you have the ability to have a Dig Toys deck.
Yeah, which I do.
Down the line, you'll be able to, once there's multiple versions of each of these pals, you'll be able to have a deck where all of your pals are just different versions of the same pal, which is neat.
Yeah.
You can pick a favorite. So
Very cool.
this version of Digtoise is a 5-cost, 800 power, 2-strike normal pal. And once per turn, you can consume 2 material. This card gets plus 500 power and breakthrough until the end of the turn. So you're doing that extra strike damage to the opponent. So kind of a baby version of the Digtoise we just saw.
Hmm. So it's cool because in the game, if you get a lucky pal, basically it's just its stats are enhanced.
Hmm.
Um, so this is a really cool example of translating that to the card game because the lucky version of Dig Toys only costs one more. It has 100 more base power, but then has the ability that when you have 10 souls, it boosts itself by 1,000 and an extra strike.
Yeah.
So that makes up for the lucky. But then they both have this ability that if they consume 2 ingredients, they gain 500 and gain breakthrough. So there's a world where you can flood your board with all dig toys and consume their materials and just go to town.
Yeah.
And I love it. So again, late game, you drop Dumud, you get the money, and then you drop a dig toys, either 5 or 6. You already have the ingredient at that point to buff him and break through. So Dumud is a good partner for dig toys. I'm calling it now.
Yeah. You're going to go work on your deck after this video. I just know
I
it.
absolutely am. This next one is so cute. This is Tansy, the Cheerful Worker. A 2-cost normal pal, 200 power, 1 strike. He has the auto ability of Sirius 400. So just like T-Fant, on a sign, choose a pal and it gets 400 until the end of the turn. So again, this is your guy that you're going to send to your structure. You get to probably draw a card off the structure. You get to make some ingredients. And then you also get to buff up one of your guys. Tansy can buff up your dig toys so that it can make a more meaningful trade, and it can generate the food that you need to give that dig toys even more power and breakthrough. So
Yeah.
I like Tansy a lot.
One of these in each color.
Yes. And they're all 2 costs, which is really, really great.
So now we can talk about Wumpo Boten, the Tropical
Tropical Sentinel.
Sentinel. A
What a guy.
7-cost normal pal, 1200 power, 3 strike, and it has that interrupt absolute ice shield type ability of it's quick and you pay 1, discard it, or discard this and another card, and you just block an attack. So another one of these cards to think about adding to your deck. Maybe relevant that it's a Wumpo because there's other Wumpos. So
True.
you might want to maybe down the road there's a reason you want to play this in your Wumpo deck.
Yeah. I will say it's a little expensive to just play as a creature. 7
Mhm.
cost for only 1,200 power is not great, but 3 strike is always good. That is good at 7. You could drop this in another card and swing at your opponent for up to 4 strikes.
Yeah, I think you're mostly using this for the interrupt ability, but then I
Yeah.
think you can play it if you're late game and your opponent has all tapped out and you're just going for the kill and you just
Yep.
want to, you've held on to this for a while, didn't end up using it, and now you're like, all right, let's see if we can finish this game.
Yeah, there's a spot for him, and
Yeah.
he's a cutie. All right. So on to the first structure of the booster pack. This is a breeding farm structure.
Mm-hmm.
3 cost. It's a farming structure with 1,100 durability, and it has 2 actions. Once per turn, you can consume 2 ingredient to reveal the top card of your deck. Add it to your hand if it is an 8 cost or less pal. Otherwise, it goes to the graveyard. And once per turn, you can consume 2 more ingredients to assign 2 pals and choose 1 8 or less cost pal from your hand and deploy it.
Mm.
So again, it's field ramp, right?
Yeah.
You can just throw a creature down out of your hand for free. Wow. Yeah, that's pretty good.
Thematically, I just figured out why you have to assign 2 pals to do that.
Yeah. Yeah. They're fucking.
Yeah. They're in that little hutch right there.
Yep.
They're breeding.
They're breeding. And they're breeding some big boys.
Yeah, they are.
So, I mean, yeah, putting a Wumpo out from the breeding farm is pretty good.
Yeah. I mean,
that's a brand new sentence.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's ever said that sentence before. This card is interesting. It feels a little expensive. I don't know. Two pals.
I agree.
Yeah.
2 pals. Committing 2 pals is really tough because you're
Yeah.
foregoing 2 chances to mitigate the board or attack your opponent. The trade-off is a really high powerful pal, and I guess if you can keep the structure out multiple turns in a row, putting out big pals for way lower cost could be really, really good, but there's just better ways for green to go wide. So yeah, I don't love the breeding farm.
There's green just has so many good structures too.
Yeah.
So this one I don't think is one of them, but cola vending machine. I love the art on this. This is
It's
crazy.
great.
Cativa with
Yeah.
like a cola, like it's nuts.
Cativa
So
Cola.
consume X ingredients, assign one pal, choose one soul and stand it, then choose up to 3 times of X number souls and stand them.
Then choose up to 3 times of X number of souls.
So
That's
basically,
written so w
yeah, you're basically what you're doing is you are converting. First, you convert the pal into a standing soul. So you rest a pal
yeah.
to stand a soul, and then you can consume any number of ingredients to then stand that number of souls as well. So
Or is it for each 3 materials spent, you can stand another soul?
then choose up to 3 times number of X number of. Oh, okay, yeah. For each material, you stand 3 souls for each ingredient.
I think it's up to 3 times of X number of souls.
Oh, God,
I
this
think
card
it's
is confusing.
3 yeah, I think it's 3 ingredient per soul after that, which is
Choose
expensive.
up to 3 times of X number of souls and stand them. Up to 3 times. Choose. What the fuck does this card say?
I'm actually gonna Google what cola vending machine Palworld TCG ruling because holy shit.
Choose up to
Um,
3 times of X, so 3 times the number of ingredients, number of souls. There's the word number is used too many times.
yeah.
Uh,
I need someone at Bushiroad to call me.
yeah.
Oh, never mind. This is for the video game. I can't find a ruling on it.
All right. Well,
But
if you're listening to this and you know what this card does, or you think you know what this card does, comment down below. We'd love to
let
know.
us know.
It could be good, could be bad. You know what? I'm realizing now I don't think I've played with this card because I simply, when I read it, my brain turns to mush.
Oh
So
man, yeah, it hurts
yeah, I
actually.
just am like, I don't even know. You know what we should do? We should just load this up into the simulator and play it because I bet
Yeah.
the simulator knows how this card works.
Yeah.
So
Like I wanted to just make a game where I make a bunch of ingredients and see what it lets me do.
yeah,
All right. We'll come back to you on that one with
yeah.
some housekeeping in a future episode.
All right.
It is big. It's got 1500 durability, so your opponent won't want to deal with it either.
Yeah, your opponent is like, I don't even know what that does, and I'm not even gonna worry about it.
I'm sure it's game breaking. It's
Yeah,
just I need to know how to do it because if you could essentially infinitely, not infinitely, but you know what I mean, stand all of your souls, make food, stand souls, make food, stand souls, play cards, like I'm sure it's good, but boy, word it differently.
yeah. Someone's gonna play this card on against me, and it's really gonna piss me off
Yeah.
because I'm gonna be like, oh, that's how it works. Oh, fuck you.
Oh, that's really good. The next one is Feed Box, one of my favorite things to build in the video game because your little pals just go over there and eat when they're hungry. 2 cost, structure, 900 durability. As an action once per turn, you can consume 1 ingredient and increase your soul by 1 card in the rest state. If there were 10 or more souls before increasing, choose 2 souls and stand them instead. That's pretty cool.
Okay, so basically, it's saying,
You could ramp early or you can stand in the late game.
okay. And
That's
this is
nice.
one of those cards that references 10 or more souls, so it's kind of,
Yeah.
what does that mean for future?
Evergreen.
Yeah. What does that mean for the future of this game?
I
Interesting.
like I like that you could essentially ramp pretty quickly. But again, you're right. It's like I'm glad this one has that extra utility that Damud does not, where it's like if you're already at your max souls, you just stand 2, and that feels pretty good. You're working with 12 souls in a turn at that point. That's
Yeah.
2 6 costs, which you normally couldn't do. It's a 5 and a 7. Other math combinations.
Yep.
I like Feedbox.
It's decent. It also, 2 cost is very easy to do. I could commit
Yeah,
my first turn to playing this and then the following turns to getting value out of it.
yeah,
I could do that.
yeah, you're getting some good value.
All right, this next one is cool. Ranch.
Ranch?
This is a 2 cost structure, 800 durability. You assign a pal, get either 3 material or 3 ingredient, and draw a card. So
Yeah, that's
the
solid.
the blue cat that we looked at last time loves this card because it's a
Yes.
farming structure. So you draw 1 card and get 3 materials of some kind, and then you also get to draw a card off of that cat. So you draw
Yep.
2 cards.
This can also go well with the machine gun deck because you can get 3 mats off of this,
Yeah.
which you spend to shoot all of my pals in the face with your land ball.
Yep.
Ranch seems like a very solid structure
Yeah.
for decks that care about your materials. Last one in the boosters is a 5 cost structure with 1100 defense called No Pals Beyond Sign. So as an action once per turn and assigning a pal, the pal assigned to this card gets the skill Taunt until the end of your opponent's next turn. So Taunt is that one that we saw on the big insect guy. It just says your opponent cannot attack other targets if a card with Taunt can be targeted for an attack. So much like the grapple gun, you can use this to give a different pal your taunt. So a bigger one if you want to. And there are some big green creatures in this deck or in this set.
Yeah. I mean, I could see you giving this to Dig Toys
Absolutely.
and just
1900? Absolutely.
yeah,
Onto the gear.
yeah. This is a gear that you love to use. I'll just let you talk about this one.
Okay, sure. And you can just grab the next two. I appreciate it because I do love this gear. I talked about this in the red episode. This is Dig Toys' headband. It's a 3 cost gear. As an action, you can rest this card, choose one pal, any pal, and it gets 200 extra power until the end of the turn. But if its main name is Dig Toys, meaning either the 5 or the 6 cost, get either 2 material or 2 ingredients. So this not only buffs your dig toys, but it immediately gives you the necessary ingredient to then use dig toys' buff
Yep.
all at once. So if you're leaning into dig toys as heavy as I am, this is essential, and they do stack.
Yeah.
So you can have a headband on each of your dig toys. Yeah, like I said, it's just a self combo.
Yeah. Gives him the 2 ingredients that he needs to get the breakthrough, and it's really solid. When you were using this against me, it's very scary. And
Yeah,
there's not really a way for me to deal with this other than killing the Dig Toys, which is already a
correct.
pretty tall order.
Yep.
So
And the numbers just work out really well. You can play this the same turn you play either of the dig toyses in the end game. You
mm,
have enough souls to
yeah.
just drop these out of your hand and start wrecking havoc.
Next up, we've got the Farming Hat. This is a 3 cost green gear. Action, rest this card, choose one pal, it gets plus 200 attack until end of turn, and you get 1 ingredient. This feels very similar to the stone pickaxe, where I think in a sealed environment could be okay, just
Hmm.
as a way to produce ingredients, but we've already seen so many cards that are so much better at producing ingredients, so I don't really know if I see myself paying 3 to play this, so
Right. If you are fully leaning into a single strategy, you probably run this. Like if the
yeah.
cola vending machine is really bonkers, this is just another one of those cards that you're playing early to start generating ingredients for the cola vending machine. But again, I don't know how that card works. So yeah, I agree. I think this is if you're really hurting in your own personal collection for cards that give you material, you're using this. Otherwise, you're upgrading it and taking it out of your deck.
All right, Lily's strategy. You have a very shiny version of this card.
I do.
It's a 3 cost event. This is one of those strategy cards, so you pick one of 3. So the options are the first one is choose all of your pals. They get plus 1,000 power until end of turn. Very good. The next one is
Mhm.
choose one structure or gear and put it into the graveyard. So this is one of the few ways you have
Ah,
to deal with gear. And then The last one is
That's good for
increase.
structures though too.
It is, yeah. Like if there's one of those really strong structures that is just really sticking and you want it to go away. For instance, the Cola Machine, if that ends up being a card that people play,
Yeah.
1500 durability on that. You probably want to play a card to just get rid of it. And then the last one is increase your soul by 1 card in the rest state. So pretty
Mm.
good early game ramp if you wanna do that. Or maybe there's like a specific reason you're trying to reach a certain number early. Maybe you do
Yeah.
this.
Yeah, this is an interesting one. Of the strategies we've seen, at first glance, I'm looking at this and I'm like, this isn't the best one.
Yeah.
But honestly, the choose one structure or gear and put it into the graveyard, I think buffs it up for me like quite a bit. From the few games that I've played, I, I was looking for this card and I just didn't know it. Like I wanted this.
Yeah.
So
I think you play this card for that ability, and then the other 2 abilities are kind of like if there's no target for that, you just use it for
yeah,
that, you know?
yeah.
Like
Because they're
maybe
versatile.
yeah. It's that's what I like about the strategy cards is I could see myself playing if I'm playing those colors, I'm probably playing these strategy cards.
Yeah. At the very least a couple,
Yeah.
because it's really good tech because it does, one of 3 different things.
Does so
So
much. All right,
yeah,
next
I
one.
like it. This is an event called Found an Egg. 2 cost. Look at the top 5 cards of your deck, choose up to 1 pal from among them, add it to your hand, shuffle the rest of the cards with the deck. If you choose 0 cards, you get 3 material.
Yeah.
So, because of that last sentence, this card goes up in value for me.
Yes.
Um, but exactly like we were saying with the gear, it's like you could pay 3 to then slowly once per turn gain 1 material or ingredient, or you could just play this found an egg. If you are looking for a card, you can maybe find it, but if you see something that you just don't really want or you really just needed ingredients, you can just play it for that. 2 costs to get 3 ingredients is pretty good.
Yeah, especially with how many ingredients you tend to need for a lot of these green cards.
Yeah.
There's a lot of green cards that have some high ingredient costs. So
Yes.
this is I love this card. This
Yeah,
is
it's a great card.
Blessing of the Flower Spirit. So this is a 3 cost event. Gain 1 life, draw 1 card. Super solid.
That's great.
It's kind of the antique mirror of the green deck. You just play it, get a life, draw a card. It replaces
Yeah.
itself. I built a life gain deck in green, and it was really fun to play.
Yes. I think what I like too about cards like this, because life gain will probably be a thing. I don't think it's the best strategy right now, just
Mm,
from the little I've experienced with it. But this game in set one does a really good job at, I mean, aggro is still going to be really good, right? Like
yeah,
weenie aggro. Every card game you play, set one, like weenie aggro just does a lot. But this game already has cards and tools built in to mitigate how good weenie aggro is.
yeah,
Like this is just a really solid card to be playing at any time during a game against aggro, where you just gain a life back and draw a card.
yep.
That goes pretty far
The real
against, like, all these things that are attacking you just one at a time.
the real text of this card is advance the game to a later game state,
Yeah. Yeah,
which the aggro deck does not want. The aggro deck
exactly.
wants the game to be over before both players have 10 soul, ideally.
Yeah,
And this card says, "Nope, we're gonna take our time."
yep. Again, if you're not splashing blue in your green deck for some reason, like if you're doing red, green, or green, purple, this is a card that lets you draw and, like Eric said, prolong the game a little bit, which you'll probably need because if you're not playing blue, you're probably just building up to some kind of combo, which we've seen a lot of combo cards in green already. So
Yeah.
life gain in that it's not a main strategy, but as a perk of the color, I think is really, really cool.
Well, let's move on into the structure deck cards. This is our
All
first one.
right. We got Moss and oh, I just understood the portmanteau of this card finally. He's a Moss panda.
Yeah.
Okay. He's a 5 cost normal pal, 900 power, 2 strike, vanilla. So we see these in all the structure decks so far for each color. There's a 5 cost, 900 strike, 2 vanilla that I'm hoping will have more vanilla support, but at the very least, He can pretty much be assigned to any structure. 5 cost is solid. He's decent.
Not really much to say about him, but he's a definitely a good starter deck card.
Yeah.
We've got Gummoss, Dreamy Seedling. This is a 2-cost normal pal, 300 power, 1 strike. This is a little aggro card. The 300 is decent for 2. He's equivalent to the Jolt Hogs.
Yeah, which I do like that aggro can extend to any of the colors. I feel like Digimon did that in the early days, is you could just run, there are no color restrictions in Digimon, so you would just run rookies of every color. So that's kind of fun. That, I mean, if you wanted to play aggro, but for some reason wanted to do like life steal and direct kill, you could do green purple aggro. And I actually might build that deck, and we might run our blue red and green purple aggro decks into each other
That
and
would be
see which
fun.
one is better. Yeah.
Yeah. All right,
I
next
love
one.
Gummoss. He's cute. I love this one. They named this card after me. They didn't even know it. Floppy Snack Lover, baby.
Yeah. Every time we play this card, I can't help but smile and laugh. It's
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, she's cute. So it's a 3-cost normal pal, 400 power, 1 strike. But the reason I love it and run it in my Dig Toys deck is auto on deploy, get 2 ingredients.
What a
So just
good
another way to ramp.
what a good early game card.
Yes. Fantastic.
Yeah.
I play this going second, turn 1. And then turn 2, I play my 5-cost Dig Toys and start breaking through already. Amazing.
All right, the next
And then, yeah.
one is Dynasum Radiant Fragrance. So this is a 4-cost interrupt pal with 400 power, 2 strike. So it does that thing. You can pay 1 and discard it, or discard this and another card at quick speed to prevent an attack. At 4 cost with 2 strike, I think this is solid.
It's a solid card.
I think this card is, of this type of card, I think this is one of the better ones we've seen.
Yeah.
Two strike. And it also, it's a dragon.
It is a dragon, so you could tutor it off of Chillet.
Yep.
In a blue-green deck. There's the neutral dragon also that you could reveal this from your hand.
Yep.
And I think that's kind of cool because you make your Alpha Dran in 1100, and then they know that you're holding on to one of these cards.
Yep. So now you're playing mind games.
Yep. And we love mind games.
Yeah.
Also, the art is adorable. I love Dynasum.
He's just hanging out in the forest.
He's just hanging out in the forest.
All right, on to this guy.
Yes. So this is Eiktherdir Terra, Guardian of Nature, a 6-cost normal pal, 800 power, strike 2, and a continuous ability of Taunt. Your opponent cannot attack other targets if a card with Taunt can be targeted for an attack. So this is cool because it's not as strong as the other taunts that we've seen, but it gets in the way.
It does.
You have to fight this one first, so your opponent has to kind of change up their game plan a little bit. 800 power is not nothing. You have to send something probably level 6 or higher into it to kill it outright, or do some combos out of your hand. So kind of an annoying guy to be on the other side of. And it also has an action. So during your turn, you can consume 2 ingredient to give it plus 500 attack until the end of the turn. And there's no cap on that.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, that power goes away at the end of your turn. But during your turn, you can take out a high value target, and then it's taunting at the end of the turn. So
yeah,
typically this thing could come in and really take out a couple of good targets before it leaves the battlefield.
Could take out a big
little
structure.
expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, this is another good structure killer. That's a really good point. Swing at a structure and then taunt back. That's good.
I think this is a great starter deck card because I feel like in the booster packs it has a very kind of obvious replacement with Dig Toys.
Yeah.
So like similar costing and similar abilities. You don't have taunt on Dig Toys, but you have the other like consume and get power. So I think this is the design space of this is really cool in that they made it so that when you buy booster pack cards, you're probably going to replace this.
Yeah.
But also maybe taunt is actually, pretty good. And maybe you build an all taunt deck,
Maybe.
Oops, all taunts.
Oops, all taunts. This next one has taunt.
Brawn Cherry Brimming Adoration. This is a 7-cost Lucky Pal with taunt and 1500 power, 3 strike. So
that's solid.
Just a big taunt pal. It's also striking for 3 every turn. And now your opponent has to attack it. They have to get over this. They have to deal with it.
I like
decent.
the design on this one because it's one less cost to be a 1500 taunter like the insect guy,
Yeah.
but it's lucky to balance that out. But
Yep.
there's a world where you run 4 of these and 4 of the Warcrest guys, and like you said, you just have a big taunty deck. So you're swinging on your turn, but then they have to answer it on their turn. And I think that's kind of cool. I love green so far. I think it's my favorite color of the 4.
There might also be some type of real, like, slow control strategy where you're also gaining life while doing all of this taunting.
Yeah.
So you, by the time they finally break into your life pool, you have like 15, you know?
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
interesting. Next up, we've
I
got,
love this guy. I think this is
yeah,
one of my favorite cards from set 1 so far.
yep,
This is Mamorest, Roar of the Wilds. Thematically, it's like the first big pal you see in the video game, and it's so overpowered over you. So in this game, he's an 8 cost lucky pal, 2000 power, and 4 strike. And not only that, but when this card is put into the graveyard, you get 3 ingredients.
God, you've played this card against me, and every time you do, I am just like, I don't want to deal with this right now. Like,
Yeah.
it's hitting me hard, and then if I kill it, you get 3 ingredients, and now your dig choices are going crazy, and it's just like, I hate dealing with this guy.
It's wild. It's
Yeah,
good. So in my Dig Toys deck, this is my other 4 of Lucky, and boy, do I love him. I love seeing this guy hit the field.
yeah,
2000 power, even when he's rested, like it's really difficult for your opponent to kill him. He doesn't have the taunt, but there's, you could assign him to taunt if you really needed to. But obviously the 4 strike is really tempting in and of itself.
yeah. So I think this is the highest base power that's printed on a card that we currently have.
Yes, I
So
believe so.
that's he's nuts. That's nuts. It's funny.
He is
The
nuts.
ability of this card is this card feels almost exactly like the mammoth elephant creature from Battle Spirit Saga, the white one,
Yeah.
because that one
Yeah.
gave you 3 cores, I believe, when it died. So
Yes.
it's
Yeah.
funny that I see that card here, and it's just as annoying to deal with because it's the same
Oh yeah.
feeling of like this thing is gonna wreck me every turn, and then when I kill it, my opponent gets benefits. So
Yeah. It's rough. It's a tough one to get around.
I like it a lot. I
I do
should
too.
I should build a deck around that card. I think I'm
Yeah.
gonna work on it. All right, we're rounding out everything here with our berry plantation. This is a 1 cost, 600 durability structure, harvesting type, assign 1 pal, get 3 ingredients, and draw 1 card. Very good.
Nice. Yeah.
For
Super
green,
solid.
for green, you love this. This is what you love to see.
Yeah. Absolutely. I don't really have anything to add there. That's exactly what I'm looking for. I need those mats or those ingredients, and my Dig Toys is going to eat them. I'm running 4 of this in my deck,
Dig Toys loves a
and
berry plantation.
he does love a berry plantation. The next structure is 3 cost, 1100 durability, Campfire. So as an action once per turn, consume 2 ingredients and assign 1 pal. You gain 1 life and choose all of your pals, and they get plus 1000 power until the end of the turn.
Yep.
So again, I could see this working in red in the right combinations of structures here. You can grab the materials that you need, power up your whole board, and wipe things out that way. Red wants to manipulate those numbers, and it's fun to be able to do that with a splash of green. So pretty cool card.
Yeah. This is a fun one to build around for sure.
Yeah.
All right, Refined Metal Spear. So I was looking at this card. I'm interested to hear your thoughts on it. It is a 6
Yeah.
cost gear. It's the action is rest this card, choose 1 pal. It gets plus 900 power until end of turn. I think that it feels too expensive, but also 900 power is a lot. And
900 is insane.
this is a gear that you can cheat out in a few ways with some other cards if you combo it with them.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
And
I'm
again, the only real removal of it is also in green.
Yeah. I mean, every turn giving something 900 power is. You could make a land ball 1100. It could take out a strike.
Yeah,
It could take out a structure with that.
that's nuts.
Yeah.
That's actually nuts. I think, yeah, this is actually kind of selling me on some of the ramp cards. It's like, it's still a lot of work, but if you were able to ramp and get this out really early,
Yeah.
you're then really set up for the rest of the game to make your math better. It is expensive. 6 is expensive, but you're right. There are some ways to tutor it onto the field for free that might be worth exploring because this, yeah, this gives the biggest buff of a gear in the set so far.
Yeah. This is one of those cards that feels really underwhelming when you first read it. And then I think if it's actually on the field, it's scary.
Yeah.
Like, if you had this against me, I'd be terrified of how much power your pals have each turn.
Yeah.
All right. Last card. I think this card is pretty good.
I think it is too. So this is our 2-cost quick event in green called Stone Blast. At quick speed, you can choose one pal and it gets plus 500 power until the end of the turn. So really good for chump blocking, really good for those taunts that you have on the field. Your opponent thinks that they can just take it out. Like the deer that's 800
Mm-hmm.
suddenly becomes a 1300 and they just wasted a card going into it. There's a tier list here, right, of these 2-cost quick actions, and I think just because we've went through red and obviously blue, this one feels a little less good, but the more I think about it in action and within the context of its color, it's solid.
Yeah. I think that all of these cards that we've seen so far, I actually am not even sure what the purple one is, so I'm excited for us to get to that.
I know,
Um,
I can't think of it off the top of my head.
I think all of these cards we've seen so far have been very good. The ability to play something at quick speed, just in general for two, is good.
Yeah. Yep.
And if you know somebody's colors, then and they have two souls standing during your turn, like you can expect kind of what they're going to do. But any of these played against me are not good for me. They're hurting
Yeah.
me. So
Yeah. And that's fun.
it is.
Again, I love that. I love that timing window. It's exciting. It makes the game very dynamic.
A little bit of hidden information never hurt anybody.
Exactly. And that'll do it on green. We
Yeah.
made it.
All right, it's time for everybody's favorite game, Champ or Chump. We've chosen Rush or Reckless Destruction as our Champ or Chump contender. All right, let's read him again. He's a 2-cost, 200 power, strike 1, normal pal. When this card attacks a structure, it gets plus 800 power until end of turn. When you play this card, it can immediately take out a structure, which we've talked about is kind of a rare ability. Like, if you think about this as saying, destroy one 1000 or less durability structure, this card is great. Now, of course, there's other things that could stand in the way. There could be taunts, there could be pals that could potentially block. Now, when you target the structure, I believe this gets plus 800, so they'd have to block 1000 power pal.
Oh,
So
that's true.
so because you're targeting the thing you're attacking is the structure, which then fulfills the ability, so it becomes 1000. So they could block it,
Yeah.
but they're still blocking 1000 power.
Yeah, because he's already rushing towards it. Okay.
So I think you actually target a structure every turn with this if you can, and then maybe you strike one just if you have no structures to target.
Yeah. See, that's my kind of thing is you can run him into a structure and it just kind of it makes your opponent decide how big of a threat this thing is.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's like they could kill him at any time. He only has 200 power when defending. Literally anything could kill that. The things that would trade into it are also generating you material or ingredient, like Chickpea and Kativa. So that kind of like buffs him up in my eyes without knowing for sure if sideboards are going to be a thing in organized play. I think that kind of weighs into my decision here too. This is a tough one. This is a really tough one.
All right. So I looked, and there are 26 structures in the game right now.
Okay.
13 of those structures have 1,000 or less durability. So half of the structures in the game can be destroyed by an attack by a Rushor.
And I would argue the more playable ones and the ones you would see more often in multiple copies are destroyable by Rushor.
Yeah, there's a few that there's a few structures that have 1,100 that I think were built just to get out of the range of Rushor that are
Yeah.
pretty good looking. That I think it kind of sucks that Rushor can't touch them, but there's quite a few. I mean, like the ranch just gets blown up by Rushor.
Yeah.
Um, the
Some critical ones.
the flame cauldron gets destroyed, which is pretty huge. You can take out the
Yeah.
antique mirrors and not feel as bad about it, which I think is nice.
Yes. Yeah.
The the hot spring, if that's giving you trouble, you can take that out. A lot
I
of
have my verdict.
Okay, yeah, let's talk about it. What is
Yeah.
your verdict on Rushor?
I'm going to call him a champ.
Yeah, I agree. I think Rushor is a champ. I
Yeah, he's still a body that can strike your opponent if you need to. So
mhm.
like if they're not playing structures, it doesn't matter. You can still drop him for cheap and run in for one.
Yeah.
And as the game progresses, we're going to get more structures. So I think some of those are going to be targets for Rushor.
Yeah. I think that he's a card. You're right. He's a card that gets better as the game progresses, and those are always like he's a good card that just gets better as the game
Yeah,
moves forward. And
I really think so.
I think that means he's a good card. I would
Yep.
agree. I do think like if I could redesign him a little bit, I would love for him to be 2 cost 300 power strike one. When this card attacks a structure, it gets plus 700 power until end of turn,
Sure.
just to give him like a little bit more staying power. He is very vulnerable, but if you think about it this way though, you play him, he immediately takes out a structure, or your opponent chump blocks and loses their little pal.
Yeah.
Uh, and then next turn, your opponent wastes an attack dealing with him.
Yeah.
If they have more structures they want to deal with, or maybe they don't have any other structures that he would hit, and your opponent is like, I'll just leave it. And then now you're like, okay, one strike to the face, one strike to the face.
Right.
And it's like, okay, yeah, Rushor, I need to deal with this.
Yes.
So I think he's a champ for sure.
He's good. He's good. I'm
Yeah.
I mean I'm yeah. I'm okay with saying that he's a champ.
You're all aboard the Rushor train?
I'm all aboard the Rushor train.
Whoop, whoop.
Toot toot.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us for this review of green cards in the first Palworld booster set and structure deck. That was a ton of fun. We have one more color to cover, and then we'll see what our Palworld content looks like after that. We'll probably be looking at some decks and looking at some online gameplay. Hopefully, we get to
Yeah.
go to some events and do some little debriefs about how, what decks we built and how those decks played. And if you're familiar with our Absolute BSS content from before when we covered Battle Spirit Saga, expect a lot more content similar to that to be happening. Maybe we'll get some guests on the show as we make friends, which we'll make some pals when we go to Pal World
Ah.
events, I'm sure. So keep an eye out for that. Join the Discord, join the discussion. Hop in the comments section. Let us know if you think we're right with our champ or chump verdict on Rushor, or hop in the Discord and let us know we get a champ or chump channel. That's hard to say, where we
Yeah.
post all these cards after each episode has aired, and you can weigh in and let us know. Anything else you want to add, Cam?
No, I think I'm good. Thank you so much for listening to another episode of the Pal Pod. Excited to do purple and round out the colors. Tell a friend, tell your pals about the Pal Pod and
Tell your
send them our way.
pals.
We'd love to increase the size of our pal world.
Send your pals to our world. All right. See you guys next time. Bye bye.
Bye. Poop my pants. I'm pooping in my pants. I pooped my pants again. I'm pooping them now. I'm filling my shorts with shit. Oh no.
Okay, you ready?
Yes.
What if I just left that in to fuck you over?
You can, I don't care.
Just instead of the outro music, I have that playing. um, all right.
Do whatever you want.
So